What's going on, guys? Red Rock here, and I just watched Superman. So here are my thoughts about it. This review will be divided into two parts, and that is a spoiler-free review, just for the sake of my viewers who haven't seen the movie yet, but the movie has been out for weeks now, and also a spoiler review. But before we get things started, if you haven't already, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you won't miss any future videos for the channel. So without further ado, let's get things started with my spoiler-free review. And to be honest with you, James Gunn absolutely delivers. This movie isn't just a masterpiece, it's an incredible way to kick off a whole new DC universe. I'm thrilled to say that David Corenswet as Superman is one of the best comic book castings ever. Back when the DCEU was falling apart, many fans, including influencers like myself, fan cast Corenswet for a Superman reboot. After seeing this film, I can confidently say he completely embodies the character, not just in appearance, but in spirit and performance. He's like a modernized version of Christopher Reeve's Superman. The visuals, action sequences, and soundtrack are phenomenal. The flying scenes in particular are top tier, evoking the thrill of Top Gun Maverick, another great film I've seen. Compared to Gunn's past work in both Marvel and DC, I believe Superman is his best project to date. It proves he can do much more than just comedy-driven superhero flicks. This movie strikes a perfect balance between humor and emotion, with several heartfelt, even jaw-dropping scenes, especially one I'll talk about later. I also love other characters. Rachel Brosnahan perfectly captures the essence of Lois Lane, and her chemistry with Corenswet is fantastic. Skylar Gisondo as Jimmy Olsen is hilarious, and Nathan Fillion nails it as Guy Gardner, exactly the kind of comic relief Green Lantern fans expect. But the standout among the Justice Gang is Mr. Terrific. After seeing his scenes, he's become my favorite secondary DC character since Blue Beetle. I also appreciated the cameos, which I will discuss shortly. And while some viewers might not see the vision, but Nicholas Hoult absolutely crushed his role as Lex Luthor. He even mentioned at one point that he watched Smallville to prepare, a nice touch considering many fans consider Michael Rosenbaum the definitive Lex Luthor. I genuinely hated Lex for what he did in the film, which just shows how effective Hoult was in the role. Overall, this movie felt like a comic book brought to life, with deep respect for the source material. Superman is easily one of the best DC movies I've seen in years. So now we're done with the spoiler-free review, and now we're gonna go to spoilers. For those who haven't seen the movie yet, go to the next part instead, or you better watch the movie already before going back to this video. You have been warned. So we all know the DCU is already an established universe where many humans have existed for over 300 years. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I really like how this movie opened, similar to a Star Wars scroll, with text explaining the context of Superman's origin. We learned he arrived on Earth 30 years ago and has been active as a hero for just the last 3 years. Kind of like how, what they did, with Robert Pattinson as Batman. Like, the Batman takes place on Bruce Wayne's second year as Batman. The opening also teases his conflict with the Hammer of Barovia, aka Ultraman. Unfortunately, I missed that part in the theater. I came in a bit late and only caught the last few seconds before the scene where Superman falls into the snow. I saw the opening text but didn't get to read it fully, just caught a few words like Hammer Baravia. Now let's talk about Lex Luthor. Lex creating a pocket universe? Insane. He's completely unpredictable. I'm not kidding. Nicholas Hoult absolutely crushed the role. There were so many moments that made me and potentially you react like, this dude is crazy. Man, you're just a hater. Bruh, that's pathetic. Why are you so obsessed with him? And when Superman tells him his obsession is creepy, spot on. Holt really delivered. As I mentioned earlier, you can tell he took inspiration from Michael Rosenbaum's Lex Luthor in Smallville, and it paid off. He, David Corenswet, and Rachel Brosnahan all completely embodied their characters. Some of the best comic book casting ever seen. Jimmy Olsen in this movie is basically the Ned Leeds, a comedic, supportive, and a charming guy. As for Superman getting nerfed, I know many fans dislike this aspect, but personally, I'm okay with it. It makes him feel more human and relatable. Watching him win every battle easily could become boring. This vulnerability gives him his victories more weight. And now, here's the big twist. Superman was originally sent to Earth to conquer. That reveal genuinely shocked me. According to Jor-El and Lara, he was meant to rule the planet, continue the Kryptonian bloodline, and even have multiple wives to bear children. Basically, they want him to be Homelander. I have mixed feelings about this change. On one hand, it elevates Superman's character by forcing him to make a choice, either to follow his heritage or stand for humanity. On the other hand, this version of Jor-El feels completely wrong. Traditionally, Jor-El sends Kal-El to Earth to protect it, not rule it. That said, I understand why James Gunn chose to go in this direction. We've seen the traditional origin story told many times. This twist gives Superman more reason to appreciate his true parents, Jonathan and Martha Kent. It's very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where Peter Quill realizes Yondu was more of a father than Ego ever was. Speaking of the Kents, Pa Kent's advice to Clark was one of the emotional highlights. His lines about how our choices define who we are and that kindness is what makes someone heroic were beautiful. This Superman truly is a beacon of hope, and I love that Gunn emphasized that aspect. The other heroes, Green Lantern, Metamorpho, and Hawkgirl, were great additions. They played an important role in stopping the war at the climax. But Mr. Terrific is easily the MVP. He had a lot of amazing moments, and honestly, I'm begging James Gunn for a spin-off, whether it's a solo Mr. Terrific movie or a Terrifics project. If I had one complaint, it's that Hawkgirl didn't get much screen time, though she still had her big moment killing the dictator, which was satisfying. And let's not forget that incredible monologue or speech Superman gives to Lex at the end. It's emotional, powerful, and tear-inducing. That speech perfectly captured why this Superman is more human than alien, full of empathy, restraint, and hope. As for Ultraman, the twist wasn't too surprising. He's a clone to Superman. And it was confirmed that it's David Corenswet under the mask. There were a lot of speculation that Ultraman might be played by a former Superman actor like Henry Cavill, Tyler Hoechlin, Brandon Routh, or Tom Welling, but it turns out that wasn't the case. Still, I love the symbolism. Ultraman represents two things. One, a metaphor for the darker version of Superman, and two, a reflection of those who doubted Corenswet's casting. The cameos were a fun surprise too, like Maxwell Lord and Peacemaker. It's so unexpected. I would have been shocked by Supergirl's appearance as well if I hadn't seen spoilers beforehand. And James Gunn already released a poster for the upcoming film. Overall, this movie is peak cinema. With this being the first ever DC movie I've watched in the cinema, and it's all about my favorite superhero growing up. Superman is my favorite superhero. Makes this experience even more special. That's because this movie is a masterpiece and it is a great way to start a whole new DC universe. And after watching this movie, I believe that the DCU is in good hands with James Gunn at the helm. I can't wait to see more of David Corenswet as Superman in the near future. So I would rate this movie a 10 out of 10. I highly recommended this movie to you for those who haven't seen it yet. Anyways, that's it for this movie review, and what do you guys think about Superman? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any future videos. Also, follow me on my socials. Links to it are in the description below. So that's it, and I'll see you all next time in the next video.